in a bit to make sure all those tweets went out. I'm ready with the music this time. I think it's only fitting since we're drawing Baldur's Gate that we have the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack. And then I'm also going to just make sure, what was that? I'm only gonna start talking about like how the vending thing went yesterday when there's more people here. I feel like, I think there's like some artists in my usual audience, so I think I want to make sure that they absolutely hear that. But yeah. Actually, I don't know why I'm following that kind of trajectory for Shadow Hearts here. I started a little bit before stream. Because, you know, this is a big piece. I kind of need all the time that I can to work on this. So, yeah. Hello, Kira. Welcome. Welcome. Oh my god. Jeez. This is a big piece, as you can see. I've got, I'm gonna try and get all the foreground characters done first, because I think it'll make fitting everyone into the background a lot easier if I just build front and up rather than up and down. But yeah, I think it's crazy that I got a commission this big. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot. I hope they'll be happy with it. I'm gonna make sure after today, I think after today's stream, I'm gonna send them a work in progress. Like, hey, I am working on it. Sorry if progress feels a little slow. I have had a little bit of like a very, very busy day, or very busy past few days. Head pets for a good boy. Yes. Hello, Butch Pop. Lovely to see you here. Alrighty, we got some people. I think I'm gonna talk about the whole vending experience. So that was my first time doing a table, like, ever. It wasn't my table, it was my game store. I want to make it clear that, like, I did not secure a spot here. Somebody else did that for me, so I'm still gonna have to figure that part out. The whole point of Sunday, however, wasn't necessarily to get a bunch of sales for the store. It was primarily for, so we can get more eyes on the store. So the store location is Critical Hit Games, Corona on 6th Street. I don't care if I'm doxing myself. This is probably, like, good PR somehow. And I don't live in Corona anyways. I just live close to Corona. And, it was super cool being there. Like, I actually had, like, a lot of fun. Lots of cool stuff. The big thing, with these kinds of markets is that a lot of it is, like, handcrafted goods or homemade food. So, our board games kind of didn't really fit in there, but my art did at least. I sold 3 art prints, 1 keychain on my end, and then on the store's end, 1 jigsaw puzzle was sold, and 17 Pokemon cards were sold in total as well, which was super cool. The big thing was that I was, like, handing out these flyers about the store, trying to get people, like, interested, like, hey, like, this is what we do. We're, like, a really fun place if you want to, like, hang out, play games and stuff. Tabletop games. Stuff like that. Shut up, OneDrive. Nobody likes you. Anyways, so I've learned a few things. And number 1 is that, when I finally do my own table, congrats again, that must have been super exciting to sell merch. Yeah, it was super, like, cool. It was, really exciting. I got, like, a bunch of people to follow me on Instagram. So, that was, like, really, really nice to see. Just, like, really great. I also know, like, all the art that's been sold, too. So, the art that did sell was that, snake dress drawing of Aerie, my tiefling, the other one of Lilac in the really nice dress, and then the pirate one. So I was making jokes, like, I know what I must do now to sell my art. Something stupid like that. How else should I put things to put my words together right now? So, let me think. So here's the big stuff that I learned. we didn't have like plastic bags for out the customers to put their merchandise in, which is like that's on us, right? Like I should have like had a little bit more like forethought about that. My boss should have had a little bit more forethought about this, and I was like putting a lot of thought into like what the table was gonna like look like too. Um, so that was a little bit of an oopsie on our end, but it's okay. Um, I think everything that we were selling, or most of the things that sold anyways, were stuff that was like very like you could hold it in your hand or put it in another bag, so it wasn't too much of a problem. Another thing that I personally was more concerned about, considering I was selling art prints there, was the fact that what's it called? Like, there's food being sold. Now I don't think there's gonna be food being sold at the art market, but I'm thinking if I can get like lamination sheets, not necessarily like ones that go in a 3-ring binder, but I think I would put my art prints in those sheets and be like, here you go. Um, because I would hate for them to get ruined. Um, my cousin also had given me a little bit of advice before this whole thing on Sunday. They told me for the art prints, do like a 1 for 10, 2 for 15 kind of thing, that kind of deal stuff. Uh, because it helps incentivize like buying a little bit more. Another thing that I did, which I think I'm absolutely going to be carrying on to my own art table, because I'm a fantasy artist, I do like D&D related stuff. I had a little like dice tray with my D20 in there, and every time a customer made a purchase, I asked them, Can you make a persuasion check for me?" I had them roll 3 times, and if within those 3 tries, if they got a nat 20, I give them a little 10% discount. So that was fun. A lot of customers thought that was like a super cute thing. I had one customer, the guy who bought the keychain, he was able to get the nat 20. Yeah, and my dice aren't weighted, as far as I know. I got this particular dice set off an Etsy seller. I'm pretty sure they're balanced. Um, but yeah, super fun. So for next time, definitely probably gonna try and have business cards, because the QR code that I have is nice, but I think just sharing it around is probably like a little bit better. I probably won't go too hard on the business cards because I do have the QR code that links to my website, um, which is really helpful. Um, what else? If the store was going to do this again, my suggestions were like rather than like focus on selling things, I think having a table where we're more like interactive would be a lot of fun. So I was like, maybe we could have like a table where you can like paint miniatures, or I can find like a bunch of like wooden frames, get some wood stain and some cloth, and be like, hey, you can build your own dice tray here for the cost of X amount of money or something. I think something like that might help the store a little bit more, because I do want to help the store. I want to help them uh, I want to help them grow. It's a fun business. It's a great atmosphere. I think it would be really good. But yeah, it was so much fun. And it was really cool to see all like the other stuff that people were selling there. I bought these like tooth-shaped earrings from a company called Black Sheep. Or a small business called Black Sheep. It was like this super goth like stand. They had like these taxidermized butterflies. They had these very like gross like kind of jewelry, like the teeth I mentioned. They also had like bundles of worms, and I think like one more thing. They had these handmade shirts. I really want one of the shirts, but I think I'm literally too small for the shirts. That like it would have needed to be altered to like fit me nicely, which was tragic. And I was just like, it's okay. I'll just get one of the earrings though, because they're super cute. And then there was like another like really like a really like gothic booth as well. That one I bought these really cool boot chains from, because I love chains personally. Like I like wearing them on my pants. Sometimes I have like a sort of like necklace that's just like a kind of like a dog chain, but I'm not wearing that today. Yeah, Johnny also had like a lot of fun. Johnny was with me. I told him I would pay him if he was going to like help me like run the thing. We didn't end up making like a lot of sales, which is fine. That wasn't like Sunday's goal personally, or for the store at least. I guess I would have liked to make a little bit more sales with my art, but what can you do? But it was like really, really fun. I had some friends show up because they wanted to like check out the place, and I was planning on going home right after the thing, but then they wanted to go to the mall, and I was like, okay, we can go to the mall and do a little bit of shopping there too. But yeah, I think I think that is like mostly like everything about Sunday. Um, it was just super cool being like in that kind of space with like a bunch of other like small businesses. I will say, actually, um, so the people who usually run these little like local business markets, small business markets, it does sound like a nice experience. It really was. And welcome, Sambatsun. Yeah, that was probably some of the most fun I've ever had, like, doing, like, anything customer service related, we'll put it that way. But, yeah. I will say, so, the city that does, like, these little, like, small business type things, they don't allow AI art, but I think they are, like they don't want like anything AI generated, and I know this because the art walk, which is I think organized by the same group, also says no AI stuff. And however, at the same time, I don't think a lot of the people who run the event don't know how to spot the difference immediately, because one of the booths that was set up like pretty close to us, they had Johnny, I didn't look too closely because I wasn't, like, paying too much attention. I think they were selling things like pins and stickers. Johnny was pretty sure it was AI generated. And I was like, that's so bad. I would have called them out, but it's like a public space. Probably not, like, the best way to go about that. Because, you don't want to make too much of a thing. Another thing, though, I will say was... yeah, because you don't want to cause a fuzz, I get that. Exactly, it's like, yes, it is a shame. It's such a damn crying shame. It's like, how could you, like, there were these crochet, like, booths, right? There was, like, 2 or 3 of them. Something that I learned about crochet is that it's really hard to mass produce them. Which is understandable, right? Because, like, it's so, like, crochet is, like, guarantee hand done. And, just the thought of, like, everyone just, like, spending all those time, because there were so many plushies, right? There were so many plushies and, like, crocheted stuff. So, and I know, like, all of that is hand done. I know my stuff was hand done, or handmade. And then the audacity to, like, come into a small market and, have, like, allegedly, I guess, like, have AI work. It's so bad. So that was a little upsetting, but again, I don't think you want to cause, like, a scene in, like, a public market like that. I don't know which business it was, too. I'm sure if I looked throughout, like, the whole group chat and looked really closely at the stuff, I could figure it out. But it's still just, like, that's so, like, that just makes me mad. I guess it's also why I like, but it's also entirely why I was, like, really happy to see, like, the other stuff there. Because I think it really was just, like, the one tent that was doing it. But yeah. I was just upset over that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely learned a lot. I think another thing that I'm gonna have to consider is paperweights, because we don't have a tarp at home, let alone tarp weights. So I'm gonna need, like, paperweights so I can make sure, like, merchandise doesn't fly away. What is it? My plan right now is selling the sticker sheets with the hit die stickers on them, obviously art prints, and my keychains, right? Like, that's kind of all I can do at the moment. But, if it's windy, that stuff's just gonna, like, fly away. So I really love how I draw Shadowheart. I don't usually draw her, but like this is nice. Oops. Yeah, that was my weekend. My weekend was so unbelievably busy because what did the past like 4 days look like? Friday, I don't really remember Friday. I'm not gonna lie, but Saturday I got called in early to Carl's Jr. because they wanted me to train the new guy. And I just, what did I text my manager? Yeah, so she goes, "Good morning, Kyra. Can you go in at 9 to train the new guy, please?" And I'm just like, "You're so lucky I woke up." Um, yeah, I was not happy about waking up early because I was scheduled till 4 that day, and I'm just like, I don't want to go in 2 hours early because I have a whole thing to prepare for on Sunday. Thankfully, it was slow, so I was able to leave at like before 2 o'clock, which was nice. Yeah, because Saturday I went in early to the thing, had to train the new guy for like the whole time, which it turned out well. Like, he's picking it up fast, which is good because we're in desperate need of like more people who can like actually do frontline. Not it is. I will get to that in that whole like little complaint in a moment, but so there was that. Then right after my shift, I drove over to the game store, which is like super out of the way. I drove over there to load up my car. There were like 3 boxes with just full of like board games and trading card stuff, and like I had the cash box, I had our mobile clover system. It was a lot. Like it was a lot of stuff at the end of the day. And the folding table too, actually. I had to take the folding table with me. So I get back home and my dad's like, "Are you just gonna leave some of the stuff in the car?" And I'm like, "We can like move like some of the things, but the rest of it, that's just gonna stay in my car and I'm not using it for the rest of the day." And then after we moved some stuff that was like, you know, a little bit more valuable and we didn't want to get stolen, after we moved that stuff back inside, I spent time putting this together. I'm gonna show it off on stream real quick. Not that. So it's basically just like a reskin of like my community schedule posting and stuff. I generated a QR code for my website, slapped that on the background, changed up the text a little bit. But yeah, and I had to figure out a sticker for this. We have glossy sticker paper, but I don't actually like that one a lot because the ink never seems to dry and it always seems to like rub off no matter what, no matter how long you leave it to like set. So I wasn't too excited about that. And it was also kind of hard like sizing it. I had to like cut a piece of cardboard so it wouldn't like fold backwards at least. It was just a lot to take care of on Saturday. I think I finally finished getting things ready by like 5 or 6 p.m. So I was just tired. Got food and then like went to bed. After that I went to bed around like maybe 10 o'clock. Then after that I woke up early to start getting ready because I did like a whole cosplay thing where I was like a tiefling, so I had my ears, I had my horns. I had to like dress like very like me, I guess. So I had to put all of that together. Then I had to get Johnny up, and then my dad was like, "Okay, this is like too much stuff. We're going in the wagon." And it was a long. It wasn't just a long day. It was a long like 3 days, cause there was getting ready for everything. Right after my shift at Carl's on Saturday. Then it was just, I was out all day on Sunday. Like, I did not come home until, like, 9 p.m. And my day on Sunday started at, like, 7 o'clock, like, 7:30. So I didn't get back home until, like, 9. I had a headache at some point. And then Monday, I just tried to spend it resting as much as I could. Monday, took a shower, loaded everything back into my car, and then I was off to the game store and we just unloaded everything there. So, yeah, I understand the headache. Yeah, it was a long day. Like, it was a lot. Um, but I would absolutely do it again. Like, I'm super grateful for the experience. I'm really happy with how the day overall had went. Like, just the vending day, and it's like, I'm slowly just going to, like, ease back into, like, the regular schedule and everything. Because as much as I wanted to, as much as I wanted to have, like, actual, like, art ready this week, I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of art this week. A lot of, like, finished art this week. It's probably gonna be, like, a lot of, like, sketches and everything. I mean, I'm gonna try. Like, I'll definitely try. There's no question about that. But it's like I have this huge, I have this huge commission to work on. I have this, I have work still. I did the laundry, right before I started the stream. Like, I just loaded that in, too. So, I'm gonna have Cleb put that into the dryer, because I'm gonna be up here, and I'm not gonna be able to hear when this cycle is over. And then, I've volunteered to just go pick up Johnny over at his college, because, the bus takes so long, and I'm just like, you know what, just this one time, maybe I could, like, drive you there. Because, you know, if I can make the drive there, because Johnny wants to start driving over to his campus on his own. It's just our dad doesn't really let him, because one, Johnny doesn't have his own insurance yet, and two, it is a little bit of, like, a tough drive, but I told him, like, hey, if you just take, like, the side streets and everything, you can probably, like, you can probably convince Dad, because the one thing about, like, their usual route over to the community college is, the one thing is that, there's a little bit of a highway that you have to go on, and highways are just a little scary just because of, like, how, like, fast the cars are going, so, you know, like, even me, I think I'm not allowed to use that highway, because it's one thing to be able to pay for your own insurance, it's another thing if you get into, like, a high-speed collision. Like, I don't care if I'm paying for it, like, I don't want to end up, like, dead on the side of the street. Like, I'm a good driver. I think I'm a really good driver. I'm very safe. I don't drive too fast. But the same cannot be said for literally so many people on the road. I hate it. Alright, so she's gonna be looking at a little squirrel, like, on the side there. Do I like how this is balanced yet? Not really. Hang on. Balancing art is so stupid sometimes, because, like, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. You're just there, like, why? And you'll change, like, one thing, and then it looks right one way, and it still won't look right the other. So you just keep having to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No collision, please, and thank you, exactly. Even if you are a safe driver, you cannot guarantee that millions of other drivers are safe drivers, too. Exactly, that's what I... See, I always joke around, like, I have trust issues when I drive. That's why I'm a safe driver. Because every single car on the road it's just like, I want them to not be anywhere close to me. Like, I want to be as far away from these, psychopaths as possible. And maybe that's a little mean. But driving's, like, kind of serious at the end of the day. Like, I would be more sorry had it not been for the fact that I've seen, like, what, like, these car collisions, like, look like. It's not, like, it's no joke. I'm allowed to feel this way. Like, just yesterday, we were going to make a left turn into a plaza. And we have our green arrow, so we start going. Tell me why the guy who's, like the oncoming traffic, one of the guys, he just doesn't stop. Like, he stops halfway over the line. It's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Because I just don't get why people, like, feel like they gotta drive, like, so fast. It's like, just... If you just change, like, when you sleep and everything, and how much you, like... You don't need to be driving 70 out there. It's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm always, like, ranting about, like, traffic things, because, like, I don't know, I just feel very strongly about it. I don't know if it's because I just live with, like, two gearheads or anything, but it's like, I just think there needs to be, like, more traffic control here, because it's kind of insane sometimes. It is good to be cautious. You have to be prepared for everything. Yeah, exactly. And that's me with driving. It's like, it's not, I don't think I'm a good driver because I drive particularly like safe or slow or anything. I think I'm a good driver because I have severe trust issues with everyone else on the road. Yeah, but yeah, that's my view on like driving. That's me every day. I go out of my car and I'm just filled with immense paranoia to the point where I just avoid everyone. Anyways, I swear, I love group shots like this, but they're so hard to figure out sometimes. Because, like, you know what's actually tough about group shots? It's not fitting all the characters in. It's, it's trying to find out how what they're all going to be doing, because they can't all just be, like, standing around and everything. They gotta be, like, active and in the scene, because with group shots like this, it's always, like, a scene. It's not just, like, a portrait or anything where the person can just be standing there. No, everyone's gotta be, like, doing a little bit of something. This one is a little bit more forgiving, because they're all sitting down. But you still gotta, like, figure out, like, they gotta do something a little bit more interesting, like, with their hands and stuff. That's the big key to, like, group shots, I think. Ah, yes, paranoia. Paranoia is a great motivator, just like spy. I have run on both those things, so needless to say, coffee is inferior to the immense feelings of dread I get every time I have to drive in my city. I think the big issue with everything in my city, there's a lot of young drivers, and sometimes young people haven't gotten the fear of God put in them, or they're still like, oh, I'm invincible, I'm just gonna drive however the fuck I want, because I'm either on my parents' insurance, or I review everyone else as an NPC and I don't care for their lives. It's usually one of the two. I think the mouth is off, actually. And then again, sometimes it's not just the young drivers. Sometimes it's the older drivers too. They just get a little silly behind the wheel. I met this old lady in the drive-thru one time. I think she drove not aware of consequences just yet. Exactly, they're really not. I met this old lady in the drive-thru once though. She had to have been like 60 or 70, I think. She drove like this bright red Ford Mustang of some kind of model, I don't know. I just remember it was like a really like nice looking sports car, but also like really generic looking, because like all sports cars kind of like end up looking the same sometimes, right? And she was like, like I'm about a, I forget what she said exactly, but she's just like, they can't control me. I'm crazy on the road. Like I'm gonna go 100 like right after I get out of this drive-thru, and I'm just like, all right, Grandma, you do you. She's lived a full life. Is it like, it's crazy to me that people like that just exist. I feel like maybe the older people is just like, well, I've lived a full life, so I'm gonna do this one funny thing. And I'm just like, yeah, but some other people on the road haven't lived a full life yet, but also because of like the whole like age gap thing, the whole like respect your elders, I'm not sure if I have the heart to tell her like, no, maybe you shouldn't do that. But it was kind of funny, just like the prospect of it. Like when she got out of the drive-thru, I heard that gas. Grandma's about to go sicko mode on that parking lot. Honestly, more power to her for that. Like that's some balls right there. She'll roll down the windows and blast techno. It's a great mental image. Just like this 60 or 70-year-old woman blasting like heavy dubstep as she's doing like donuts in the parking lot. No. I don't. I take less of a problem with it, like when it's like really late at night. You know, when like there are people not really like driving or like parking lots are empty. Like, you know, if you're gonna do like donuts somewhere, do it in a parking lot late at night because parking lots, one, are very big and you're probably not as likely to hit something, and two, if you do it at night, nobody is parked there. Like, that's my thing. I don't mind if people want to go fast. Just go fast in the areas where you're supposed to go fast. Not on the main street, please. Yeah. Okay. I think it's time to draw her armor and everything. Oh boy. I hate drawing, like, plate mail and everything, because the geometry is so, like... It's just so frustrating to work with. I think I can handle Shadow Hearts, though. I've done it once before. I've done it once, I'll do it again. That kind of thing. That does not change the fact that geometry is, like, very annoying for me. Let's see, and then... Something that is nice, though, is that I've figured out, like, a great system of, like, sectioning off, like, armor like this, where it has a lot of details, and I can just break it down nice and easy now. It still takes a while. I think it's always gonna take a while, because, duh. But it's definitely, like, easier now than it was then, which is good. And again, I've taken... I was smart about this, too. Everyone with the more, like, complicated, like, outfits gets pushed to the back so that I don't have to draw it. That's the approach that I took here. So, Astarion... I'm sorry, Astarion, I love you, but no. Shadowheart's a little bit of an exception, just because, like, her chest plate is not a solid piece. It's kind of, like, broken down into, like, a lot of things, but... she can have that. Gale's outfit is super simple, so he gets to come up front. Obviously, their Tav character has to come up front because it's their Tav. And I drew her in the armor that I got sent. Will, he's kind of in the background because horns and everything. If I put too many tieflings in the front, it will obscure the back a lot more, so I wasn't a big fan of that. So I think doing this is, like, a good compromise. Lae'zel is just nothing but pure plate mail, which is more annoying than chain mail, so she gets sent back there too. But yeah, as much as I would have liked to have everyone in more full detail here, I gotta take a shortcut somehow. Like, I gotta give my wrist a little bit of mercy here. This is a marathon. I gotta pace myself. So, just gotta be a little bit careful with that. I don't know what I'm going to work on tonight. I think I'm gonna work on a sticker design tonight. Have that as a whip ready to go for tomorrow. Because, again, this week is just going to be a week without, like, a lot of finished art, unfortunately. But, you know, it works out. Plate is worse than chainmail. I thought chainmail was, like, terrible to draw. See, but here's... okay, so let me show you one of my sticker designs for Baldur's Gate 3. Copy. We'll just paste it here real quick. This is one of my sticker designs for Baldur's Gate 3 for Shadowheart. I have a secret to drawing chainmail, and that is to paint it on, because you know, it's just easier. If I wanted to, I could probably go in with, like, an ink pen and just, like, ink in some more details here. I think I might do that. We'll see. But this is not actually that bad to handle, because chainmail is very... not fabric-like, but it's more loose, right? So it, like, shapes to the body a little bit more, and I don't have to worry about, like, any, like, weird, blocky geometry, stuff like that. Funny story. This character, her Tav, is wearing something more akin to plate mail, and I don't understand how plate mail works on, like... This is gonna sound, like, incredibly, like, misogynistic in a way, But this is just kind of me being, like, stupid and unable to, like, grasp things, because the line between, like, what actual plate armor looks like and the fantasy boob plate armor confuses me. I have no idea where the boobs go when you wear a chest plate. Because I don't have a large chest, so, like, you know, a chest plate on me isn't gonna, like, do anything. And I guess, like, logically, if you have a bigger chest and you wear, like, a big iron plate, you know, that's something that's, like, rigid. It's not like it's gonna, like, mold or anything to that. But then at the same time, it's like, but wouldn't you make plates that mold to that so you aren't, like, compressed all the time? Because, you know, that does, like, it is, like, I guess I just don't know how armor works, and I don't know how boobs work. That's where I'm at right now. So I was, like, trying to look it up, because I was trying to see, like, how do I shape, like, this area right here? Like, how am I gonna go about doing that? Speaking of, let me fix a thing real quick before I get confused later on down the line. Something like that. Actually, maybe a little bit lower. But yeah, I was just confused. Also, but anyways, I like that plate or chainmail isn't, like, nearly as rigid. It kind of, like, shapes a little bit more to the body, so the geometry on the human body is something that I'm, like, significantly more familiar with. Whereas, like, things with more straight edges, more, like, natural shapes, that confuses me. That confuses me to no end. All of that to say, I just have a skill issue when it comes to plate mail. But you know, it, like, works out. I'm gonna have to, like, go in and, like, figure out, like, where all the chain stuff is gonna go. But yeah, I don't mind chainmail. At the end of the day, plate mail for some reason is just so much worse to me. I think all it is just, like, perspective, and shapes is hard. Let's see. Music. Please. Yes, I'm still watching, I promise. But yeah. I'll draw the squirrel in afterwards, just because it's sitting on her shoulder. I want to, like, get an idea of, like, how much I'm... Oops! Did not mean to click that. Oh yeah! So I don't usually use Instagram a lot, hence why I forgot to update my bio, and I still have yet to update my bio. I should probably do that soon. But if for anyone who has been using it, what the heck is going on with their weird AI chatbots of, like, popular characters? Like, I'm not surprised, but it's like, what? On Instagram? Like this is where you want to have it? You don't want to, like, create, like, a separate service for this? Oh, Jesus. Hello, bot. Ban. There we go. Oh, those are terrible. Character AI is horrible. Yeah, I imagine. It doesn't sound all that good. Let me, like, read off... Let me see if I can, like, read off some of it, right now. Let's see... I don't think I can guarantee that it's gonna, like, pop up, you know? Yeah, maybe not. I don't think it'll pop up. But I saw... one of the ones that I saw is, like, it's Cell from, like, Dragon Ball Z. Or, like, Severus Snape. Or, man, what's another one? There was just, like, all kinds of, like, different ones, and it's like... look, I don't mind if people want to use that, right? Like, you do you. If you want to have, like, a little chat bot that role plays as, like, a character you like, that's fine. Why is it on Instagram? Like, like, Instagram is not that kind of service, is what I'm getting at here. Like I've heard of like diversifying for like brands and stuff, but that was not it. Let's see, I think that part of the thing should go up there. It was just weird. Like, I'm just so like against like AI at this point, and like I hate the direction that technology is going right now. It's like it's so embarrassing. Oh, you mean like weird fake profiles? I don't even think it was like weird. No, no, it wasn't even like fake profiles. It was like, hey, do you want to chat with do you want to chat with SpongeBob SquarePants on Instagram? But like it's not an Instagram account. It's like a just a chat bot, and it's like what on God's green earth is this? Like what in tarnation? Just again, just super weird. It's like it's. I was making a joke with my coworkers at the game store last night. Like we have so many stories, so much literature about the dangers of like technology and letting it like uprise and just like making these dystopian societies. And it's hilarious that we've chosen to ignore all of that. Those creep me out. It should not be a thing that is official product by a site like Instagram. Yeah, exactly. Look, it like if the producers of man, I don't know. If like J.K. Rowling wanted to make like a chatbot for her characters for people to use, that's fine. That's fine, right? Because it's like at least that's her property, that she's pulling from. Instagram, no, just no. No, there's like so many reasons I can think of like why Instagram should not be doing that. It's so weird. And it's like the AI version of Alloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, a game about AI ruining humanity. Exactly. There's like so much about like hey, technology's like kind of dangerous when we like, you know, let it do things like this. It's when you start to blur the line between humanity and I think that is the problem. What there needs to be is like complete and total distinction between the two. Because first of all, why do they need to look like people? Like like hear me out, hear me out. Like okay, let's say there's like a robot servant, right? Who brings you coffee every morning. Why the fuck does that guy gotta have a human face? Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It is a robot. It should look the most removed from a human as possible. It should look like a little, like a little, maybe like R2-D2 with like a little, like, tray that it, like, hands out to you, in the morning. Like, that's what it should be. Like, you want to do that so badly? At least stop making them look like people. That's weird. That's just weird. Because like again, I don't think we should be blurring the line between like what's like artificial and what's human. There needs to be like a clear cutthroat distinction between the two at all times. Otherwise, you know, it should be as far removed from humanity as possible. Exactly. Like again, I don't understand why robots have like there's such like a push for like, oh, we can make like silicone face molds and we can like make these eyes so that it'll look no. No, I don't want to think about that. That's weird. I'm at the point, in like my thing about technology where it's like, you know what? Yeah, maybe humans do deserve to be taken over by AI. Maybe this should actually be like, at this point, it's deserved. Like, we ignored all the warnings. We pushed the boundaries a little too far with this stuff. I think it's like proper punishment if we get taken over by AI. I will welcome our AI overlords and be like, you know what, we deserve this because we're like a bunch of idiots. We need HAL 9000 to guide the rocket back onto Earth. Yeah. No. My favorite like idea of like AI takeover is I have no mouth and I must scream. That one would actually be, like, so funny to me. Because it's, like... The idea of, like, the computer, like, hating humanity so much. It's just like, me too, buddy. Me too. I know that wasn't the point of the story, but point still stands. I am big upset by, like, the whole, like, AI push and everything. It's so stupid. It's legitimately one of the dumbest things, I think. It's like the debate on, like, human rights. It's like, should these people have, like... Should these people who are different from us have the same rights as... Yeah, because they're human! Why is this even a question? Literally right now the world is just like, let's ask a bunch of stupid questions, but take it seriously. And I'm like, can we stop? Can we please stop? Speaking of politics, actually, I don't know how much you guys know about Filipino politics. I certainly don't know that much. It is still the same species after all. Exactly. Like, it's still a living, human, breathing thing. Like, duh. Why is this even a question? But, let's see. Speaking of politics, though, Philippines, I don't know how much you guys know about, like, what goes on over there. I sure as hell don't stay up to date with it, but, at one point we had a president named Rodrigo Duterte, I think. And... You know how, like, we're all mildly sure that, like, Trump is, like, lying and, like, he definitely doesn't have, like, the nation's best interest at heart, let alone its people. Duterte is, like, the one dictator who I think actually believes, like, what he's, like, talking about. Like, trying to, like, fix, like, the drug, problem there. I do not follow the Philippines. It's okay. I don't stay up to date with this either, but, you know, we're Filipinos, so my dad does. Duterte has been tried for crimes against humanity because his approach to solving the drug crisis in Philippines was killing everyone, no trial, no judge, jury. He was judge, jury, and executioner, except cut the judge part, we're just executing them. And so, like, a lot of people ended up dying from this, obviously. And a lot of people, in that group that died, didn't even have, like, there was a huge chance that they were innocent, which is crazy, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But here's, like, the insane part about it. I don't know if this is incriminating. Maybe I shouldn't say this on stream, but it is, like, a weird fun fact about me and my family. My dad's family, for some reason, feels, like, huge, and by family, I mean, like, extended family type stuff. So, for some reason, somehow, in some way, shape, or form, my granddad, I believe, is second cousins with this dictator man. And I'm just like, what? How? Like, I know how, but it's like, it's always so weird to think, like, why, what is this guy, like, doing up there in the family tree? Like, get out. That's so weird. That is insane lore. I agree. That is, like, one of the craziest bits of lore that I think I have, personally. Because it's like, yeah, like, that is one of the craziest, like, connections up there that I think our family has. Like, that is weird. I know one of my dad's aunts was, like, Miss Philippines once and, like, the beauty pageant stuff, but, I also just don't know a lot about the beauty pageant stuff, so here we are. Every time I think about it, it's like who is, like, what is my dad's family? Like, who are they? It's so weird to think about. Like, I've known we've been, like, related to this psychopath for, like, a long time. I just you just don't realize how close it is until like you think about it. It's like that is crazy. But yeah, who knows who will pop up next? Yeah, next thing you know, I'm like related to I don't know the guy who killed Ferdinand Magellan Lapu Lapu. Because incredibly based in my opinion. Um, and you may hear that and think, well, like that's a little harsh, and I'm like, yeah, but so was colonizing Philippines. So, oops, move this a little bit more centered. And Lapu Lapu was actually, did actually live in like the province of what would be Cebu, I think. So it it could be possible, but it is, I don't know. I know one time Johnny took a little peek at like the family tree. One of my dad's, I think my dad's great great grandma, something like that. Her name was something something Dean. Um, and according to Johnny, he said that the last name Dean is like 100% like Irish origins. So there's also like a little bit of Irish ancestry in there, obviously like incredibly diluted, so like I'll never like mention it, right? But that is like interesting to think about. Like I really want to do like the DNA tests and everything just to see. But it's also like I don't know if I trust them with my biological information at the same time. So I'm just like, maybe not. Maybe not. But maybe not. Could be one of the two. If you did bring it up, you could go wild on St. Patrick's Day. I completely forgot yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Actually, when I put together that outfit with like all the like the plant jewelry and the green, I still don't know what it's called. I completely forgot it was St. Patrick's Day, and I thought about it. And I was like, oh, this is convenient. Now I don't. Now I can't get pinched at the store, assuming people remember. Um, So that was just like a fun little coincidence. Speaking of that outfit, I had my hair like down in a braid yesterday, but actually had Johnny trim my hair literally last night, so my bangs are a lot shorter. Thankfully, like this is like my ideal hair length. Actually, if I go ahead and take off my, never mind, my shirt's black. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but yeah, my hair's so much shorter now because it was already going down to like my lower back, which was not fun. Uh, so we got that trimmed last night. So if you see me like scratching, by the way, it's because I tried to get all of the hair out of my bra earlier, and I think I missed a bunch of it because I can't see it against the black fabric. So it's a little bit itchy right now, but it's fine, mostly. But yeah, I'm so happy my hair is shorter. One of the reasons why I hated like the long hair was because it made sleeping like really really annoying. Because what would happen is I would be sleeping like maybe on my back, right, and my hair's like caught under my back. I try to turn. Some of it is still gonna be like caught under there, like around my shoulder. Problems with having black dominated attire. You can't see hairs like at all. It's true. It's true. Sometimes I wish is I got a haircut today too, actually. Oh, nice. Haircut buddies. Let's go. Um, one thing that is tragic about having black hair, sometimes I wish I could change it, is I have like these really, really cool earrings. It's like these like rings with like spikes on them. You cannot see them when I wear them because they're black. Um, I wanted to wear earrings on stream today, but they're really uncomfortable with the headset. I thought I would wear this today because it's like, it's silver, so at least you could see it. Um, but I can't, like, you can't see it right now, and, like, I'm wearing my headset anyways, and it's really uncomfortable with the headset, so. Alright, we're almost done with, like, Shadow Heart's thing up here. I'm just gonna, like, trim the thing a little bit just so I can, like, visualize what it's actually going to look like when I ink it. Alright, that's probably good. Now the rest of it. But yeah, Johnny has never, like, cut long hair before, so I was just there like, you know how to do this, right? He's like, no, I only looked up tutorials on how to cut short hair, but we'll see what happens. I was like, you know what, fair enough. I would have gone to, like, a salon and everything, but my complaint is that I'm not looking for, like, a hairstyle, right? I'm not looking to get it trimmed a certain way. I'm looking to just literally just get it trimmed, right? The only thing is that I want my bangs to be sort of, like, pointed, so, like, I want them to, like, come down, like, more like that, right? And he did a decent job with it. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Just a little bit uneven, but it's like, whatever. Like, what's a little bit of, like, unevenness, right? Gives character, if anything. But, like, my whole complaint was, like, I just literally, like, need a trim, and they're gonna charge me, like, $30 to trim my hair. And on one hand, yes, pay people who, like, do these things. But at the same time, it's like, I am literally just asking you to take off, like a few inches of hair and not do, like, literally anything else with it. Like, that is it. I don't think this warrants, like, $30. And then it's like, well, yeah, but that's like, at, like, the hair salons that we have here, like, Fantastic Sam's and Great Clips. But the thing is, like, if I want to go to, like, a nicer place, right? Like, one with, like, actual professionals there, I'm probably paying double. One of the things that made me, like, so mad one time when I went to Great Clips, I don't like curtain bangs, right? Like, I like having, like, you know, a forehead here, if that makes sense. Like, I like having my bangs parted like that. One time I went to Great Clips and I was like, can you just, like, trim my bangs and just, like, make it, like, a little bit, like, sharp at the ends, like, pointed? And they're like, yeah, they gave me curtain bangs! And I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't ask for this! Like, I was so mad. And then they still charge you, like, $30. It's like, okay, we did it wrong. We cut your hair too short. We trimmed your bangs in a way that you didn't ask for. And we're going to charge you $30 for that now. And I'm like, dude! Yeah, Sam, I don't like my hair falling in my face, yeah. I like having the part there just because it's convenient, it's nice, it stays out of my eyes enough. But, like, I was so upset at them that day. But, you know, I didn't say anything because they already, like, spent, like, a while on me, and I'm just like, there's, like, people in line, I know they have, like, a schedule. I was just like, this is the dumbest thing in the whole world. It's not that hard. But yeah, that's the whole reason why I didn't get my hair cut for so long. It's just like, I don't want people to mess it up, and I don't want to pay, like, an obscene amount of money for something that I think it should be, like, really simple at the end of the day. Let's see. I think I'm gonna merge this down, but I'm gonna erase, like, some bits first. Oops. Bring this down a little bit more. That'll make it look more aligned with the perspective. And then we're gonna add a new layer so I can get to the other stuff. Yeah, I don't like having my hair fall on my face too much either. Like I liked having the long hair because it was nice being able to style it in, like, a few different ways. But I would rather have, like, the convenience of something a little bit more, like, in the middle. Like, I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to, like, think too hard about how I gotta do things. Style it. I am gonna miss the long braid, though. The long braid was kind of nice. But, you know, just not worth all the upkeep and all the trouble. And I had, like, an unholy amount of split ends, too. I know you're not really supposed to peel them because it's not good for your hair. But at some point, I do know that I was going to get it cut one way or another. So I was just like, I'm gonna play with them a little bit. See, we gotta make this into a circle. It's nice that I only have to draw like one half of like this chess piece here. We should almost be done with Shadowheart. The only thing I really have left after this bit is to put in all the lines that I'm gonna use for her chainmail. And then from there, there's like a thing that comes up like this. I'm not gonna worry about being too exact with it. There's like too much going on here. I think of all the Baldur's Gate 3 stickers that I did, I think Shadowheart is definitely like my best one. I'd sell these over at the art market, but they said something about like no major copyright infringements or something like that. Like if you're selling something from an IP, you can't do that. I can't really remember what the rules said, but I'm just like, so I was just like, dang it, I can't use these. They're so good too. I love my Baldur's Gate 3 stickers. Like, the art's definitely a little dated, but they're still good. I still love them. I could sell my OCs as stickers, but then like, I don't know how well OC stickers would actually do. A lot of them need like a good like retouch too, so I might go back to those files and fix up a few things. So I think I think I can manage that. Oops. And that's Shadowheart's chest plate done, I think. Just erase this little bit here. So the last thing I'm going to do, so this is how I do chainmail. I literally just take it like that, because it's easier. And it still gives like the impression of chainmail, I think. It's just, all it is just let me not destroy my wrist, because I have no other way of doing this. Now I'm gonna be more precise with this actually, when the time comes, just not right now. And we'll put a little bit of like that purple banner she's got up front. Okay, and I think that's Shadowheart done. Then from there, we're just going to erase the stuff that's like behind the owlbear. So like, owlbear's ears, like right about there. So it's like all of that stuff that we worked so hard on, I get to erase because it's not going to be in the picture. This is kind of why I think that sometimes I should just find like a different method of doing things, because like I will end up drawing like a bunch of stuff that's just gonna end up being obscured behind another thing. I'm like, oops. Yeah. Oh shoot, I forgot her headdress. That's what I forgot. I think they would have sold well too, I think. Those are great. Yeah, I love my Baldur's Gate 3 stickers. I think, again, I will definitely like retouch them, because adding rim lights I think is going to make them look really, really nice. And then all it is really is that I want to thicken up the outlines again, because there's like some spots where it's just a little bit too thin, I think. Like with the way that I draw now, and I'm like, yeah, I need to go heavier on the eyes for some of them. They just need like thicker outlines overall, because it's very cartoony. Like it should look that way. But we'll see. If I think I can get away with selling them, I'll do that. But if not, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. I forgot her headdress. I can't believe I forgot this. This is like, It's okay, it's not too bad. I saw like a really cool like art hack for drawing like a bunch of chain links, and I was like, oh, I'm stealing this. I'm so doing this next time. I gotta draw a bunch of chains like linked up together. No one has showed up for the worm watching D&D one shot yet. Which means I have a lot of time to work on a different one shot, because of course I am. I'm trying to like be like more proactive about them, because it does suck to just kind of like be scrambling between all the things that I'm doing. So the next one that I'm working on, I have an elven city in my world called Imperium, and it's split into 2 districts, Haven and Fortune. One of those is for wood elves, the other is for high elves, and as per the standard elven racism, of course drow have no place in the city. I told Johnny about that, and he's like, Kyra, don't you think that's a little racist? I'm like, like, it's not a fantasy world unless the elves are, like, weirdly racist to the drow. And he pointed out the thing with, like the comparison with, because, like, drow typically have darker skin, so I think to him it's like, oh, well, maybe these are, like, the black people of the D&D world. To my knowledge, because, of course, D&D was, like, made in, like, ye olden times of, like... Wait, no, not like that. Of ye olden times of, like, cultural insensitivity. So I remember I heard from my cousin, that's just how it is, drow are not well liked by the elves, exactly. I don't think, to my knowledge, I don't think drow was supposed to be, like, the fantasy, like, equivalent of black people. From what I heard from my cousin and from my basic observations of how, orcs are written, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be orcs. I'm pretty sure that was their stand-in. Which is still messed up, and, you know, I don't think we hold, like, the same... We obviously, like, don't try not to, like, view it like that today, but it is, like... I think where Donnie was also getting confused was, like, there is a huge thing about cosplaying drow. And obviously I can't speak on it, because I'm not black, but, I think there's definitely, like, a very specific way you have to go about it. Because the whole thing about cosplaying drow is, like, if you paint your skin, you're painting your skin a dark color. So for me personally, I think if you were to do the whole body paint with, like, drow and stuff, try to go with, like, a light gray, because that's probably going to be a little bit better received. Like, light grays, light purple, and if you have to go dark, look up what actual blackface looks like, and then do, like, the opposite of that. So go make the extra mile of, like, painting your lips, not doing the thing with the hands too much, because blackface and drow body paint, I think, are very, very distinct if you know, like, what to look for, from what I remember. But yeah, once again, it's not a fantasy world unless the elves are extremely racist towards the drow. And, you know, I don't want to make, like, the perfect, like, D&D world where, like, this stuff doesn't exist. I think that's incredibly, like, unrealistic. Obviously, it's not going to be the focus of it, because I don't think drow hierarchy is also messed up. Yeah, well, again, fantasy worlds aren't supposed to be perfect. Like I was saying, I want to include these problems, but I don't necessarily want them to be the focus, because, there's a lot of nuance in there. And I think, in a lot of cases, it's not necessarily easy to say the wrong thing, but it's easy for people to take it the wrong way. It is just a product of the time, just like old cartoons, exactly. And I do like the idea of, like, this elven city called Imperium, where they have, like, the most pretentious, like, district names, being, like, kind of, like, casting out, like, some of their own kind because they're like that. Like, I think it's a fun concept, because then it's like, oh well, maybe the Drow said, okay, fuck you, then we're gonna make our own like utopian city in the Underdark or something, and I think that's kind of based to be like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm gonna go do my own thing. I think that's exactly what they did. I think I'm gonna name that city Cleo. I think that's a very like pretty name for like an Underdark city. But yeah, I love Imperium because it's so like, I took some inspiration from Dune because, let's see, for the webcomic, the comic cast is primarily composed of me and my cousins, like old D&D characters that we used to play. So one of my cousins, Keith, his character was from uh a city called Shima, where in Shima a lot of like everything was run by these like big rich elven houses and families, kind of like Dune, like really like Dune. Like there was House Tyra, House something else, I can't remember. But because of like the sort of like Dune vibes that I got from it, um, we also had a Dune one or two shot that we tried to play once. We did the one shot. We did the first part. We didn't finish the second part. We never got around to it. But where am I oh, I meant to draw this on a different layer. It's fine. But we never got around to finishing that that little like Dune tabletop thing. But the houses in that one, the houses that we gave ourselves, our little Dune houses, was House Apide, and we had a rival in House Tumida. Now, the fun part about the names of those houses is that Apide is like one of the scientific names for bees, and Tumida is the scientific name for buttles. I think like a natural predator of bees, something to that effect. And it was just really fun, like including that into the world building for my world. Because it's like, well, now we get to like bring in like a lot of OCs that like never got like a real chance to like shine. So, and of course I made up a few other like houses. There's House Kersin, House something else. I think it's called like Alicus or something like that. But either way, I love Imperium because I get to write like a bunch of like snobby elves just kind of like having beef with each other, and I think that's fun. Because, you know, what else was I gonna do? I don't think that's angled correctly still. I'm gonna have to redraw those lines. But yeah, this particular one shot that I'm writing now for takes place in Imperium, and I needed a heist one shot. I've been having a few like too many like mystery ones lately, so I wanted like something a little bit more like a heist, something where it's like you're kind of doing crime. So one of the houses, the guy's name is like Vince Kersin, and he asks you to steal something from House Apide. That is the best part of writing Elven settlements: the sass and the snark towards the others, and the juicy gossip. I love the Elven characters I made up for this. So, Vince, the way I view him, he's one of the description that I wrote for him. He is one of House Kersin's elder children, but he's very like nonchalant about like his status. He's very like, I don't care. I'm privileged, and I know I'm privileged, but I kind of don't really care about that, and I kind of wish I wasn't actually like part of like this whole thing here. So, you know, like there's a bunch of like rivalries between these houses, right? Except Vince and another character, her name is Asha Euspinolia. Euspinolia refers to like a kind of like panda wasp. everyone in House Apode when we were writing Dune had to have like their name have something to do with bees. It was so much fun. But Asha, she's the maid of House Apode, but she's like a spy maid. So she has like these earrings that like record everything for her, and she's for the sake of the comic and for the sake of D&D settings, I have her as a soul knife rogue, and if you don't know what those guys do, they can basically summon like psychic blades, and they can telepathically communicate with other people. So she and her maids are all pretty much soul knives, and they all just kind of like communicate like psychically to each other, and they're always like listening in on like conversations and relaying information, which is always so fun. But yeah, Vince and Asha are supposed to have like a little bit of a situationship, where it's like House Kirsten and House Apode look like they're going to be forming some kind of alliance. But Vince kind of hates that they're forming an alliance, because now it's like he can't visit House Apode without his family members also tagging along, so it's kind of like a no privacy thing. Like, he doesn't have a lot of breathing room to go visit Asha. And then Asha obviously can't really visit because she's a maid. And she's not actually, like, a member of the house. She's just, like, you know, she works there. So she can't really, like, leave. So his plot is to have the team steal her earrings so that she has an excuse to come get them from him, and they can finally get, like, a little bit of time together. Which I think is just such a funny, funny idea. And I love them too. They're supposed to be part of an antagonist team called the Scarecrows in the comic. I have notes on who is going to like die in that comic. Vince and Asha are 100% supposed to make it towards like a future season in the comic. As soon as I start writing it, I really, really should be writing it. It's just writing is so hard, and I'm not good at it. But yeah, I love those two. They're so stupid. Vince, I think, also is like a College of Spirits bard in my head. So he also does like a little bit of... No, College of Whispers. That's the right one. So he also likes to do like the whole little bit of like the spying on the other houses kind of thing. Love that. Possessiveness, hell yeah, adds spice to... It's not even like a possessiveness thing. It's like they can't visit each other without like the rest of their family being there. Because it's like if Vince goes to House Apode, someone from House Kirsten, you know, Vince's house is also gonna like follow him. So it's like there's no privacy, there's no breathing room. So this is all just a ploy to like have an excuse to like exist outside of their houses without their families. Which I think is hilarious. Alright, I think that is Shadowheart done. Oops. I think this is looking pretty good. We're gonna draw the squirrel now. Make sure we get all of that. I'm gonna go back in to the owlbear too and just like make some of these sketch lines a little bit more visible. The owlbear has like such a simple shape, so I didn't like press too hard when I was doing these, but like I can't see it all that well against Shadowheart there, so I gotta bump it up a little. But yeah, it is very like they do have like a really fun dynamic in my head, I think, because she's Asha's so unbelievably loyal to like House Apode, but like she's seeing someone from a rival house, so it's so like it's kind of like a forbidden like romance kind of thing. But it's like neither of them are really like willing to like abandon like their house loyalties too. I think Vince personally, when I think about Vince and how he conducts himself, I think he's way more interested in tearing like other houses down and rather than building House Kirsten. Hence his whole thing about like I like spying on the other houses. I think the party's gonna have like a lot of fun with it too. the hard part is mostly like how am I going to handle like a stealth mission, right? Like what's it going to look like if they get spotted? What's it going to look like if just all kinds of things that I have to consider. I'm just not entirely sure how I want to do it yet. Okay, we're going to turn off the sketch there and do this. I don't usually draw squirrels, so I don't know what I'm trying to do here, actually. They don't really have a neck. I'm looking at, like, the model from Baldur's Gate 3. The neck isn't super defined. It's very, like, one continuous, like, kind of shape when I'm looking at it, so... Okay, like, nice and, like, fluffy. They got long arms, I'll say that. It's 12:51 already. Oh, wow. I'm hoping to make a lot of progress today. I don't think we're gonna finish sketching everyone. But I can guarantee that, like, a lot will hopefully get done today. I think next up we'll draw Astarion, because he's, like, right there. Oh, one of the cool things that happened, Sunday with the vending, I met someone who had been playing D&D since, like, 1st edition. And that was actually kind of insane. Like, oh my god. He told me, he was telling me about, like, the 3.5 system that is his personal favorite. He was talking about, like, his own, like, homebrew world. And it was just, it's so crazy, like, meeting people who are, like, so much, like, have such, like, a big age gap with you, but, like, when you find, like, that common ground, it is literally like, I'm not even thinking about how old you are, sir. I'm thinking about how exciting it is to meet another DM. Like, that was, like, so cool. It was just, oh my god. I love his method of, like, being a dungeon master, too, because he was like, yeah, I don't really like getting too into the nitty-gritty of, like, min-maxing and everything. I like story-driven stuff. And I'm like, you're so right for that. You're so right. I love story-driven D&D stuff. Like, that is the most fun that I think people can have with, like, D&D. When, like, you really get into, like, character arcs and you really get into just all of that. It was so cool, like, talking to someone who had been playing for so long. He was also telling me in 4th edition, it just brings generations together, right? It's, like, such a cool thing. It's the same way I feel about people at the game store. Most of my coworkers are, like, 30 years old. I'm like turning 25. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm talking to 30-year-olds. I feel like I'm just talking to, like, a bunch of people. And, it was just so interesting, like, this guy sounds just like the people I talk to. And it was so cool. Oh my god, he was telling me about a 4th edition, a 4th edition race. It was kind of like a half vampire, half drow, half vampire, half elf race. So let me see if I can find it. Half vampire race, D&D. It's because it wasn't Dampire. It wasn't Dampire. It was 4th edition. It started with a V. I swear it did. Is it a half-blood? No. I might find it on the actual D&D wiki. See, okay, so this is the 4E wiki. And there was like a whole other thing. I wish I remember what it was called because it sounded like really cool. It was like, it sounded like an older version of, like, Shatterkai. Oh, Verloka, I think that's what it was. think. But even as they are welcomed to the upper circles of their adopted cultures, for locals maintain their true society in the shadows, a dark court of vampires constantly plotting. Yeah, I think this might have been them. Yeah, so this didn't make it to 5e, unfortunately. But the concept is super cool. Just like a sort of, let's see, what is it? When you're bloodied, your healing surge value drops by 2. Human heritage, living, dead. Because your soul is tainted by undeath, you are both living and undead. If a power has different effects on living creatures and undead creatures, you choose which effect applies to you. That is cool. That is fun. I know Dampire exists now, but it's like, like this is a cooler name, Verloka. But still. Let's see, the squirrel has like these eyes, just kind of like this. I guess slanted more down. It's like they come to a point like that, so draw some fuzzies around that. Let me get to actually drawing the arms because I forgot. Kind of want it to do like that squirrel pose where they're like kind of like doing the little T-Rex arms. I'm not sure if I did T-Rex arms when I was younger. I kind of do it like today. Just like that. But that's usually when I'm cold. Or I don't know what to do with my arms. Regardless though, it's very, very like fun to put my arms like that. And just like, wee. See, and like it's kind of the underbelly that's colored, and let's see, definitely ear tufts here. I'm going in with the darker things just so I can see like the details a little bit more. Go in like this, which means now here's the fun part. I gotta figure out how exactly the squirrel sits on her shoulder. I think I definitely want it like more up here because we have like that plate thing, so I don't want it too far down. And that stuff is gonna be covering the squirrels, so get rid of that. Get rid of that. I think from here the rest of the squirrel is covering, like, shadow hearts, so... This is also the nice thing about, using different colors to sketch like this. It helps me really, like, visualize, okay, what's going on here. I don't think Johnny does colored sketches like this, and I'm just like, how do you remember what part is what? Because I won't. Like, imagine if all of this was one color. I would be losing my mind. But yeah, that is a squirrel. I'd say this is looking pretty good. I'm really liking how this is coming out. What I'm personally impressed by, so my canvases are usually no smaller than 2000 pixels, but lately I've been enjoying like the dimensions of 2300 by 2700, or reverse that. It'll be one of the two, and I'm surprised I was able to get this to fit on one of my standard canvas sizes. I thought I was definitely gonna have to go bigger, but it works out. Let's see, it's 1 o'clock. We got about an hour and 30 left of stream. Let's see. We're gonna move on to Astarion now, because I think it'll be easier. Again, the whole like building up and to the back thing, rather than doing that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Clearly I'm still tired from like everything that has happened, but I'm excited. I think with the way that I've been working on things, I think I can definitely do art walk stuff or the art market stuff in the summer. Like that is my general goal at the moment. Okay, Astarion. Where's the Astarion sticker? Alrighty. I think this person might have romanced Astarion, in which case I probably should have switched them, but I just didn't feel like drawing all the gold trim on his outfit. And I think that's fair. People who can, like, hand draw all of that, it's like, kudos to you, I can't. This is too tough. And it's hurting my wrist, but, well, not actually hurting it right now. My wrist hasn't been in a lot of pain as of recently, and I'm really glad about that. Because despite all the art I've been doing, it has been very, very, forgiving as of late. Also gonna pull up, like, a side reference here, just to see how to do the hair. I always forget how I do this guy's hair. And it's always changing between, like, what I decide to do, what I don't decide to do. So I'm gonna take my latest art of him, and gotta do, like, a little bit of a widow's peak. Just a little bit. And then it's coming out like that. Draw his elf ear. And then I had it come down like this, and it's gonna do a big swirl like that. I don't know why it took me so long to draw his curls, like, so exaggerated like this. I don't know, sometimes my brain just be a little stupid. And I just have to be okay with that. Something like this, I think. Just take that part away. Then sometimes I wonder if, like, other artists, like, watch my process and it's like, what is this person, like, doing? Like, there's like more efficient ways to do this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I know they are, but I don't know how to do them. I have been wanting to do, like, a whole, like, process breakdown kind of video essay type of thing. I think that would be, like, interesting. Because, you know, I am enjoying, like, the whole, like, teaching thing and, like, the art shares where I get to say a little bit of my piece about, like, what's actually, what I find, like, really helpful with art and stuff. But I don't know how I want to go about that yet. Let me take that away real quick. I was like, I really don't know why it took me so long to, like, make the curls, like, way more exaggerated. Because it's like, you can definitely tell that they're curly, like, in, like, older art of him, but it's like, this is, like, more like what he looks like when I draw it like this. Like, this feels so much more accurate. I'm like, why did it take me so long? Like, this was, it's such, like, a simple, like, change, too. So I'm not sure. But hey, we live and we learn. And then do that. It's been super rainy here as of late. I think last week, or something, it rained, like, for 3 days straight. And then I think the only time it didn't rain last week, like, consecutively, was Saturday. Because Saturday was pretty sunny, actually. I would have loved to, like, enjoy the sun on Saturday, but I had so many things to do. And then it rained a little bit, no, it didn't rain on Sunday. It was breezy, but it wasn't, like, unbelievably cold. It was quite warm, actually, so definitely got to enjoy a little bit more sun there. And then Monday, I thought the weather would be like consistent now. I thought like we were finally out of like our sort of like rainy season. But we were not. It rained a little bit yesterday. And I was so sad because I was like, oh, if it's gonna be warm today, I don't need to bring one of my leather jackets. It was really cold when I got out of work. And it was just like, I regret everything, but at least I'm only out here for like a few seconds before I can go inside my car and turn on the heater. So, yeah. I don't know if it's gonna rain again anytime soon. Part of me kind of hopes that it does, because it usually means the store's pretty slow and I get to go, like, guaranteed to go home. But on the other hand, it's like, it's really cold. I'm not sure I like being cold. Like, I'd rather definitely be cold than hot. Like, there's no question about that. But, like, it's really inconvenient being cold sometimes. And, like, high-key, the work jacket that Carl's Jr. provides is not that warm. Like, it's really, really thin for some reason, and I'm just like, why? Like, I might as well not be wearing anything. The only way I can, like, stay warm in that jacket is if I'm wearing, like, long sleeves under it. But at that point, I'm already wearing, like, 3 layers, so it's like, is it the long sleeves that's doing the trick, or is it the fact that I'm wearing, like a shirt under my uniform, and then the and then my uniform, and then the jacket? Really make his curls like snails up there. And then let me take, oops. I'm gonna take this and like tilt it a little bit more that way and bring it out. Then how do I want to do, oops. Like, I think I definitely want, like, I want this part to come down the most out of the 3, but needless to say, those also gotta come down. So something like that, I think. Push that out a little bit. Oops. I feel like I've had this Hui on for like a while now, but I'm still getting used to like the buttons. Kind of crazy. I sometimes miss my old Wacom tablet, but I've been enjoying this like so much more. It's so nice. I think that should be good. The Starian's hair is actually really, really hard to balance because of how heavy it leans to his, that would be his right? I guess to the left and, like, his right. Like, even I think in the official art, like, when you flip the thing, it looks a little bit off. Yeah, it does look a little bit off. So I'm not too concerned about getting the balance exact here, because I think it just doesn't happen for him. It's just always going to look heavy because of how it's styled. Yeah. Let's draw in his face. I had him holding a glass of wine in his initial sketch, because I think I sketched him like right after I finished the animals. But then I put Gale here, and Gale's out front, so no wine glass for him, and I'm gonna have to figure out like which part. Do you see what I mean? Why I need like different colors of the sketch? Like if it was just this, I would be so confused. Let's see. Give him a nice, sharp, pointy nose. And he's just gonna be, like, behind everyone, I think. I don't think there's a lot of room for, like, his lower body to be showing too much. Well, maybe a little bit. But it's kind of hard to figure out what's gonna be going on down there, so I'm gonna have to build it out again. I think I should draw blood trickling from his mouth. Who did he drink from? Who knows? I'm kind of hungry. My dad will buy, like, the little microwave, like, food, like the instant stuff, so we bought these breakfast sandwiches. I swear, none of that food, like, ever fills me up properly. I always feel, like, so hungry afterwards. I'm like, why? Give him, like, not short fangs, but just kind of, like, pointy. There we go. I think there should be blood trickling from his mouth, like, something like that. I think that's a fun touch. Doesn't make a lot of sense? Probably not, but, you know. We're having fun here. I was making a joke to Johnny last night, like, I like how the commissions, like, come in when my, well, like, while my commissions are closed. Because I had a guy yesterday come to the store, and I was telling him, like, oh yeah, I'm the store's artist, I'm designing a custom card sleeve for the store to sell right now. And he goes, oh, you're an artist? Like, do you take commissions? I'm like, yeah, kinda. Like, I can show you, like, my portfolio. So I bring out the store portfolio that I have saved over there. And I tell him, yeah, like, you can, if you want, you can, like, browse through my works. Turns out, he streams on Twitch, and he was like, yeah, could you do, like, Twitch emotes and stuff? Like, yeah, I actually stream on Twitch, too, and I made my own emotes. And I told him, like, you know, if you don't need them right away, like, just, you can always wait for my things to be open, because I don't think it'll take that long for me to reopen them at this point. They've been closed since pretty much the beginning of the year, I think. Which is kind of crazy. Again, I took this one because I forgot to update my Instagram bio. And I didn't want, I felt bad. I was like, I can take this. Like, again, sorry, the bios up over there is actually, like, super outdated. And they said, yeah, they were comfortable, and I'm comfortable taking this, because, again, I realistically don't have too much else to do, but because this is such a big piece, I don't feel comfortable taking any more, until I get this one out, at least. I do have to update my rules too now, because it's occurring to me that people might order, like, multiple pieces in one thing, and my 50% off per additional character doesn't really just accounts for, like, for the person just wanting, like, one piece, and it's like, that makes sense. But if they wanted me to do, like, multiple, like, posters, for example, I think I would have to charge, like, full price, because it's like, okay, well, now it's not on the same thing, and now you're just asking me to do, like, 2 things instead of 1 thing. So I'm gonna have to change that up. I'm gonna reorganize my commission sheet so that it's more, like, it's more clear about these things that I didn't think about back then when I first made it. Because I also don't, obviously I'm willing to give refunds, but I gotta figure out, like, okay, how do I make it so, like, I make it clear, like, if the thing is done already, and you're asking for a refund, I'm not giving you a refund, because some people be like that. I do try to, like, minimize, like, the risk of that, though. Like, I like to send, like, progress updates, like, hey, here's what it looks like, is there anything that you need me to change, like, right now? Please tell me so I don't have to do this all over again. Just stuff like that. Hope Clive put the stuff in the dryer. Let's see. I can move this eye a little bit closer. It's not... I know eyes are generally supposed to be spaced, like, 1 eye apart, but, like, I make my eyes so big they could be squished together. I was telling Johnny last night for the analog ink that I do, because I do want like a different style for that. I need to really rein in the size of my eyes, because it's too big right now, because generally I like to draw my eyes pretty big for this art style, so that's where that's bleeding in from. But so I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find that one comic artist that I like, because she draws in like the actual like traditional comic book style. I think she just takes like a little bit of a slightly different approach to like the lines and the rendering. And I'm really gonna study her eyes because I like the way that she does hers. But yeah. Alright. I think Astarian's looking pretty good. I turned this... no. Let's see. If I turn this off... oh yeah, his hand is a... his hand was supposed to be on her shoulder here. But it is a little bit squished, huh? His head's a bit big. I'm gonna downsize that just a little bit. It'd be hard to put his hand here because I have her hair over her shoulder. I think I could absolutely, like... man. Okay. I'll figure it out when we get there. Let's see. And draw a new center line. I think his torso, the end of his torso would be right about here. His hair's a bit big, actually. I think I'm gonna take this top part and bring it down a little bit. Alright. How am I going to draw him behind all of this? Because even when I turn this off, his sketch is hidden behind the dog scratch there, so let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna have to like turn it off and like recreate it. I won't worry about making like a depth or anything like I usually do with like the boxes on the people, because this is all gonna be hidden anyways, so we're just going to do something like this. Something like not terribly like detailed or realistic. Then something like this. And everyone's kind of like on their knees, so we'll do that as like a mock-up. And then where will this hand go? I mean, I guess if I do it like this, I can still... no, but it just doesn't fit nicely is the thing. Maybe just here, like on her arm. I think that ought to fit. But then his arm's gonna be a little bit too long. Oh god, this is... you guys see what I mean by like, it's hard, it's not necessarily hard squeezing everyone together, it's figuring out like what they're gonna be doing in like a group shot like this. Let's see, I could try moving him, but then that's gonna move my center line, so I can't even... I can't even, like, draw the thing right now, so... in that case... yeah, we're gonna bring this out just a little bit. 'Cause there is... it is gonna poke out to some extent. Right. I don't really have room for him to be doing his whole wine glass thing and the whole composition here. So I think I will just have it so his hand is just kind of like Like this arm is just kind of like down there to the side. You know? Because there's just no room. And I'm not gonna go crazy on the hand. Yeah, because the hand's gonna be covered by the dog, so I don't gotta worry about it, actually. Whew! Oh boy. And I'm gonna expand the body, because it is a bit small compared to the head. I'm gonna bring it down, actually. Make him look a little bit taller if I just do this. This is more accurate, I think, to the actual anatomy that we're going for. And I think from there... no, that's still a bit long. I'll find a way, I'll find a way. Erase that at the bottom. Then from here... I think what I'll do is I'll start erasing like the stuff that's behind now, so let me just do this so I can turn that off so I can get like a clear look at what I'm doing here. All of this is basically covered. Or actually no, I don't think I will erase. I think I'm just gonna start sketching the outfit because I can't, it's so hard to see. Okay, so 1, 2, we'll get his collar here, then this comes out like that, then it kind of goes, where does this actually start to meet? Like kind of like right here, because his belt actually goes around his waist and not really around like his hip. So I haven't drawn his, oh shoot. That was supposed to go on a separate layer, hang on. That can stay there, but this, I want, like, somewhere else. Bring that down, like, right about there, I think. Because his belt goes around his waist, as I was saying, not really his hip, like belts usually do. Bring this down a little bit. And we do something like that. I've drawn him enough in his like default like thing to where I can do it a little bit faster than I can the others. At least, so it's gonna come down here. I think I'm just gonna worry about like did not pay too much attention to what's going on down here, and instead I'm gonna cut it off like right around where the belt is. Actually, I don't even need to do like that much because it's all covered. So I'll just, rather than doing like all the details on the thing, I'm just gonna do the stuff that I think might be poking out a little bit. And we'll go from there, so that way I can actually save a little bit of time. Something like that. And then make a shape like that. I don't think his chest is actually going to be that visible from here. Yeah, this entire section is basically all covered off. So, oh boy, shortcuts. I love shortcuts. And then we'll just really like fix up the collar then. Make some kind of like line there. This gold trim comes down like that. Actually, I don't even think, well, maybe. It'll be good to have it there. It's not that hard of a detail to draw in anyways. Something like that. And then Just a little bit of his pants here. So I think with all of that then, I'm going to start erasing the parts that aren't really going to be seen. So real quick, let me just get rid of the stuff that's inside the clothes. And yes, I'm still watching, I promise. Really wish YouTube wouldn't do that. But yeah, so Creepcast uploads like a new episode like every weekend-ish, so there was one on Sunday. I still have yet to watch it, and I feel bad. Because I think Johnny finished it, and he's like, I want to know your thoughts. And I'm like, I know, but I have a lot that I kind of need to do, and I don't have the time to like sit down and listen to the episode. Because they do read the stories, and it's like, if I'm like too busy to listen to the stories, then I'm just not gonna know what's going on in the stories. Alright, let's see. Ooh, you know what? There's like a whole space here that's visible. Okay, so we will have to draw like a little bit of that. That's okay. It's a good thing I caught that before I did anything else. Let's see. So his outfit is just so like all over the place. Not in a bad way, just it hurts me every time I have to draw it a little bit inside. I think I want to bring this sort of sleeve part down. So that way, this part kind of curves in. Then I can bring this down all the way to the belt and do like the same thing here, but with like a little bit less of whatever's going on here. I think I will try to finish sketching this tonight. I'm planning on driving over to Johnny's campus again after stream. I hope Clive will be ready to leave by then, because if not, Johnny's probably better off taking the bus so he doesn't have to wait as long. We'll have to see. Oops. The gold trim of the collar starts about there. And then this part goes like that. And if you ever see like my pen do something jank like that, it's because I'm kind of like half pressing on the button. It's like I'm just anticipating the undo. I don't think I need to worry about this shoulder too much. Maybe just a little bit of the decal right there where it's exposed. Maybe at this point it's just easier to just draw everything in, but again, I'm lazy. I don't want to do that. There's 4 things on his thing. Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like a ribbed, sort of thing. I don't know what to call it. There's this really cool, like, collar at Spencer's when we were at the mall. I was really tempted to get it because, like, when you wore it, the chains, like, dropped all the way down to where it, like, kind of made, like, a rib cage, kind of shape. And I'm like, that would be so good for cosplaying Lilac. But Lilac, to me, wouldn't wear chains is the one problem. Like, yes, they're not supposed to be chains, but it's the fact that they are chains, so it's gonna look like chains. It's like, I'm better off probably making, like, a foam cutout of, like, a rib cage corset kind of thing. And wearing that. And, you know, it's not like I'm huge on cosplaying Lilac anyways. Okay. So... I think there's just a little bit of, like, the gold trim, like, visible right here. Let's see if I can, like, eyeball this so I don't have to do too much. It's like that. And there's, like, a smaller, like, sort of... I like making these, like, kind of heart-shaped because I think it's cute. And then it's sort of the same thing here. It's like a little bit of a heart, another sort of heart shape, and then this right here. And then from there, is there any part of this other gold trim that's visible? Is the belt visible? This under part of the belt is visible. I think. I think just like right here in this space. This must look so confusing. I think for me personally, this took a lot of like getting used to just visualizing like this. And then like his sleeve comes out a little bit like that. And then I have no idea if that sort of like sleeve end is going to show up, but I'll draw it in anyways just in case. And then I think that's it. We've avoided drawing most of Astarion. So now, if I'm right, I'm gonna take this away just for the sake of a little bit more clarity. His arm is behind Gale. Nope, there's still a little bit here. His arm is behind Gale's arm, and Gale's arm looks like that, so that's gone. This part is also behind Gale's hair. Something like that, and then there's so much here. I think all of that right there can go. All of this right here can go. Which means... I'm pretty sure that's just like part of his sleeve, so that's just gonna be like colored in. So I'm not too concerned there. Let's see. Scratch's ear is like right there, so I can get rid of all of that. Gale's hand is also like right there, so I can get rid of this. I'll put in like the little like gold decal on like this sort of like ruffle right here in a moment. Let's see. Talking out loud like this is actually helping a lot with me trying to figure out where everything is. Okay, and then don't erase all of that yet, actually. This right here is safe. This, however, this is like part of like that tiny window where like more of like this part is kind of like visible. And then I think I will just add that because I think that's actually part of the red part of his collar where it comes down. That's gone. That's not visible. This is also behind the Tav character. Get rid of all of that. Just keep... There we go, there we go. And then... Look at that, we avoided drawing like most of Astarion. Then I think this is part of like one of the things there. Let me make this a little bit smaller so I can fine-tune that, and it's like mostly it. His hair is absolutely going to be behind her horns because she has to be like up front. Like there's should be almost nothing like obscuring her. And there we go. There's Astarion. I'm gonna leave that little bit of purple there to like let me know like, hey, like you gotta draw in his sleeve, and it does look like this part is visible, so I'm just gonna. There we go. This goes so hard. This freaking boss track, I love it. That's his belt. There we go. He's got a little bit of blood running down his face, and then I'm just gonna go in here and take my tiny pen, because he has like a thing on like each and every single one of these. And yes, it is like annoying every single time I do this, but it's okay. We love him. And I think from here, how plausible is it to maybe just like his fingers? Maybe I can still fit the hand in here somehow. I think maybe just like a few fingers, you know? Like maybe just the pinky. So I draw this pinky and index, and maybe like a little bit of like the middle finger. No, that doesn't look that good. We'll figure it out. If I want to go back to that, I will. Oops. This also has to be behind Gale. I just noticed that. Okay. This part 2. Oh yeah, and maybe he should have like a little bit of an ear here. There we go. How are we feeling about that so far? I think that looks pretty good. Alrighty, who should we do next? I think we'll do Will, because he's up there. Oh, I also have to remember Karlach's hand is doing bunny ears on both Will and Astarion. Alright. Well, let's see. Ooh, you know, I might actually go use the bathroom real quick. Maybe. Let me go find the Will sticker. Yeah. So I have that pulled up now. So I'm just gonna go use the bathroom real quick, and then we're gonna continue with Will, so BRB. Let me... Oops. Let me at least do a thing. I'll be right back. And I'm back. You know, I love this shirt from, like, Wendigoon, because I think Wendigoon has, like, really, really nice merch. But the shirt is so big. Like, it's so awkwardly, like, big on me, so I have to, like, tuck it in. Alrighty, let's draw Will. What color do I want to use for Will? Lae'zel's gonna be sort of a yellowish green. Karlach is gonna be a reddish orange. Will, I think... I don't want it to be red because it's gonna get confusing because, like, her horns overlap with his sketch there, so it can't be red. Thank you for the welcome back. Blah, blah, blah. I think straight up orange will be good. Because she's gonna be like a red-orange, but I'll just try to, like, make sure I differentiate it a little bit more. Make that a little bit more saturated too so I can see. Oops. Oh yeah, so I mentioned on Twitter, and Blue Sky, both of them, that I thought that the new guy at work was kind of cute. So here's like the funny story about how all of that happened. So I was curious to know, first of all, like, just genuinely, right? Genuinely curious, because low-key, I feel like we should have more people in the daytime, for frontline and backline. Because we get the school rush, and the school rush is absolutely brutal. I hate the school rush. So, I asked my manager, like, hey, are the new people gonna be daytime or nighttime, right? Because, yeah. And, part of the reason is, like, I want to know, like, hey, are we actually gonna get more help in the front and the back during the day, or am I just gonna sit here and cry again? And she tells me, oh, they're gonna be night shift because they need people at night. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fair. And the night shift needs a lot of people, too, I think, because, their rushes happen at, like, 5, and then 7, 8 o'clock, and then they get the late night rush, but, like, by the time the late night rush comes, we're not too concerned about drive-through time, because it's, like, late night. There's, like, 2 people in the store. And they gotta clean and close. So, I'm like, oh, okay, right. And then a few minutes pass, and I'm like only kind of joking about this, because I do think the new guy is cute, but I'm also just like, eh. Like, let me just poke fun at Irma a little bit, right? And I tell her, like, is it bad that I asked if they were daytime or nighttime because I thought the new guy was cute? And she's like, I'm gonna put him on daytime now. I'm like, nope, I regret telling you anything then. But then she told me she was thinking about putting him on daytime anyways, just so I could trade him. Because I don't mean any shade towards night shift, like, at all. I think night shift is great. I think they work just as hard as the daytime crew. The issue with night shift is that their backline, really strong at the end of the day. They have, like, a really solid backline. Their frontline people, not including the shift leaders, are these 2 high schoolers who still don't know how to, like, do anything at the store, and, like, one of them has been there over a year already. I feel bad for them, right? Because I know at least one of them is, like, needs to pay rent because he's not living with his parents anymore. But it's so, like, guys, frontline is not that hard. And, like, in their defense, they do get the scripting right, I think. The issue is that I think they move a little bit slow, and they still struggle with, multitasking. Now, I'm not saying everyone at the store should be a multitasker after, like, a year of working. That would be, like, kind of ridiculous, but, night shift needs, like, more multitaskers, I think. Which is why, which was one of the things that was nice about me, like, working, like, night shift. Like, having me there helped things run a lot smoothly, except I don't work night shift anymore because they need me in the daytime. So it's like, man. Will, your horn needs to, like, not touch your head there, I think. And like so if those are like our point being, if that's like night shifts like frontline, I don't think the new guys should be training with them because they're not good. They're like there's a reason why they only work like a few hours. A lot of the night shift I think needs to be retrained. Just to get like running to like the company standard, but you know, I'm not gonna do it, so that's like up to somebody else at that point. Bring this up. Hope the horns look balanced. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. There we go. One of the new workers, actually, she's a Hispanic lady. She looks like she's maybe in like her mid-30s or so. She has the most fantasy sounding name. Like I understand that there are people who like name their children after like maybe like characters that they like from popular media. So of course maybe somebody out there is named after like an actual elf, but her name is literally Elvia. And I was just like, that is the most, like, not necessarily basic D&D name, but that is like peak fantasy name right there. Like, I can't believe you're literally named Elvia. But she's really nice, and she picked things up super quickly too. I'm like, thank God. And if she's gonna be working nighttime too, oh, backline is gonna be so, like, so set. Hopefully. I hope so. Because I feel bad for the night shift. I think they get the worst customers. I'll complain about customers, like, what was it? Last stream I was complaining about this lady who was upset that her middle schoolers couldn't play in the playground they were literally too big for. But, you know, daytime doesn't get, like, a lot of, like mean customers. For some reason, night shift gets a lot of them. This one lady threatened to come back and shoot Johnny with a gun. Which is, like, crazy. I know if it was me in that situation. I know, like, if I got threatened with a gun by an angry customer, I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to see you, like, take my life over a couple of burgers and fries. I'm sure that will boil over nicely. But it's like, the people who come to the store at night, something is wrong with them. They need to be like, put on a list, like, genuinely. Another shift leader, for some reason, for some reason, this police officer's food was taken a little bit too long, and, he just goes up to the working shift leader that night, and he goes, hey, you know I'm a cop, right? And he, like, kind of, like, gestures to the gun on his belt, and it's just like, what is wrong with you? Talk about, like, abuse of power and stuff like that. I just don't get it. Again, the people who stop by the store at night are actually demented and need to be put in, like, an institute sometimes. Let's see. I'm gonna take Johnny's advice about, like, black hairlines and actually not do, like, the whole, like, fuzzy hairline thing. It's not that I can't draw these hairstyles, but, like, I never really like how flat they look sometimes. It's like, how do I add more volume to this without making it look super awkward? That's always been my thing with, like, some of the ways that, like, cornrows, I think? Cornrows get portrayed on, like, cartoony characters. It's like, there's no shape. It's kind of just like you put, like, a cylinder over their head and bent it to the shape of it. But it's like, there's not a lot there. So I'm gonna try and make sure I get, like, a little bit of volume going here. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe nobody else sees a problem with it. But I like volume because it, you know, it adds depth. It adds like a lot. Maybe don't have these. No, that's erasing a little bit too much. I think I'm gonna have these not come out all the way. Just so they don't, like, touch the horns in, like, an awkward manner. You ever think about how, like, how hard it must be for Will to sleep? His horns are massive. Like, I'm only looking at, like, my little, like, chibi art of him, right? So this isn't, like, the horns probably aren't exact to the actual model. I want to know how he sleeps. I want to know how tieflings sleep in general. Like, I like to imagine that, for tieflings, when it comes to world building them and, like, figuring out, like, how they grow and stuff, my general rule is this: tiefling horns never stop growing. Like, they're kind of like moose antlers in a sense, right? I think moose antlers kind of, like, grow continuously throughout their life, or there's at least some animals where, like, their horns or their antlers do that. And so I say the same thing for tieflings. My personal headcanon for tieflings, it's like a lot of them try not to let their horns get that big, because at the end of the day, it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it makes it hard to, like, lie down in certain positions. So of course there's always, like, sort of like horn barbers for that, where they'll carve down the horns and everything. I like to also imagine there's, like, molds for horns, so, like, if you wanted to, like, regrow your horns in, like, a different shape, they'll cut it down to the base and then put, like, a thing over it to, like, force the horns to grow a certain way over a certain period of time. I think it's just the only thing is that it would be, like, a long process, just because, I think even in real life, they only grow, like, they only gain, like, a little bit of, like, either height or, like, I guess general, like, size in very, very small increments over, like, a period of time. That's my headcanon for tieflings, at least. So, like, because, you know, if you can help it, I think people would generally, like, trim these down just to make, like, their lives more comfortable. Right, here we go. I love Will in Baldur's Gate 3. But I think my only thing is that I wish he had, like, a little bit more angst in his character. Like, he's such a... They kind of tote him around as, like, a little bit of a paragon of, like, justice. Like, he's so lawful good. You have never met anyone more lawful good than this guy. And I think that's, like, an interesting character to have. I just think he could have had, like, a little bit more angst. Because, like, you know, his dad casts him out of this... banishes him from Baldur's Gate because he made a deal with, not Minthara, Mizora. But, there's never, like, you never get to see any of that, like, resentment, or just, like, why can't you understand, like, how could you do this to your own son kind of thing. I think it would have been incredible to see, like, a lot of that. I think that would have done wonders for his character. Just, like, I think every D&D character, no matter who they are, has to have, like, a little bit of angst, right? And I think that's, like, my one issue with, like, Will. Because I love, like, I love that he wants to do good in spite of, like, the pact that he made. I love that, he's sort of, like, longing to go back home. And I love that he wants to rescue his dad. It's just, I wish, like, there was a little bit more resentment, that he harbored, because I would be pretty salty about that. Oops. So, like, I think if I was to, like, rewrite his character, that's personally what I would do. I think that would be, like, an overall, like, really, like, fun change. Just make him a little bit more of, like, an angsty demon boy. I had one of my characters, she's one of my OCs. I never used her, but she's like a cowboy paladin type of character. Completely does not fit within like the aesthetics of Baldur's Gate 3, but it would be funny. And I was like, oh, she would. I think she would be interesting as like a will romancer because her whole thing is that she got framed for like a murder or something, or covering up evidence in an investigation, and was sort of like kicked out, ran out of town for that. I think that would have been like a lot of fun, but I just never got around to making more Baldur's Gate 3 playthroughs. Let me actually do it this way, because it's easier for me to draw mouths in this direction. I always find it easier to draw characters facing to the left rather than to the right. I don't know why. I think Johnny finds it like at first I thought maybe it was like, oh, maybe it's because I'm right-handed, right? But Johnny's also right-handed, and he has easier time drawing people facing to the right than to the left, I think. I'm just like, that is so weird. Then I don't know what to make of that. And his beard is kind of like, it's kind of shaved, so I'm just gonna like go around like this. I have like a nice brush that I made just for his beard because I can't use my usual textures because it's shaved, and I didn't like the watercolor spatter as it was as a default because it just didn't look right, so I just tweaked it a little bit. Okay. He's got a scar going up there, another one across his cheek here, and then let's draw the eyes. Calling it a day. Thank you for your stream and have fun with your angsty demon boy. Thank you. You have a wonderful night, Kira. I hope you get some good sleep. I'm gonna sit here and think about emo Will because I think I need that in my life. Let's see. What kind of shape eyes did I exactly give him here? He should have been an angsty demon boy. He really should have been an angsty demon boy. That would have been so good. Like, tieflings always... Like, with tieflings, it's always, like, the joke is that, like, they're the edgy characters, right? They should have played into that. They should have played into that. That would have been so, like, it's basic, right? I get that. But it's so... I think it's such, like, a fun idea at the end of the day. Like, just, like, a really, really, like, I can't believe my dad cast me out of the city just because I made a deal with the devil and he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. Like, something like that. Like, yes, I understand he's not a teenager. But it would have been really, like funny to see, I think. Not funny, but, like, it would have been, like, like, it's such a good moment for him. Just, just, he should have had that moment of, I want to tell this man off. Like, I want to let him know, like, I'm upset with, like, the things that you did to me. Like, that just would have been so good, in my opinion, and we just didn't get that. I'm like, no! I do like him as, like, a very, like, happy person, generally, though. I'm not wishing, like, he's entirely, like, angsty or emo or anything like that. I just wish he had a little bit more of it, because it just... The angst really adds to a character, I think. You can, like Eri, for example, she's not supposed to be, like, angsty. She's very, like, snarky and, like, very, like, fun-loving, playful, kind of person. But, like, regarding her family, that's when the angst comes out. I think we could have had something similar here. That, like, something like that could have, like, swayed me from Astarion to Will. Look at him. He's so cute here. Oh, look how lawful good you are. I could just give you a wedgie right now. I'm kidding. And then the scar goes through his eye like that. And then I'm just gonna color this in to show that it's the demon eye that he has. Look at him. I love that, actually. I think that's a pretty good job. Does he have earrings? He strikes me as the kind of person to have a very simple gold stud for an earring. Gale has earrings. I know that. Ooh, I might be right. Hang on. Let's get the portrait out. Ah, maybe not. Oh, but he would look so fine with it, though. I might just give it to him just because I cannot be stopped. I was joking around with my coworkers yesterday, just like, this is the great thing about being an artist. I can just do whatever I want. Anything that I imagine in my head, I can manifest that into existence. And like, the better you are at art, the funnier it is. Alright, so I don't think a lot of his body is going to be visible because the owl bear cub is quite large. The same is probably going to be said about Karlach and Lae'zel, just because how much there is going on in the front. Alrighty, so I gave him a cape too, actually, in my chibi art. Let me show you guys. Hear me out. He should have had a cape in his default design. Like, I understand this is chibi and everything, but hear me out. He should have had a cape. He absolutely 100% should have had some sort of, like, cape. Like, in his default design. It could have been, like, a short cape. It could have been, like, a long cape. I gave him a short cape because, he already has, like, a little bit of a tunic that, I didn't want to detract from that too much. But, like, look! This works so nicely. I think this would have, like, this would have been wonderful. I would have loved this so, so much. I think I'm going to give him a cape as well in this one. Like, it just makes sense. Let's see. He's got like a little bit of a collar like this. Something like that. That's where our center line is roughly going to be. Just bring that up a little bit. Then we actually don't have to worry too much about a lot of his outfit, just because he's so obscured and I didn't have any hands out here. So I just wasn't sure what he would be doing. I think Lae'zel over here looking like really like disinterested and nonchalant, unamused, all that kind of like funny things. I think that's so in character for her. I think Karlach giving both of these two bunny ears is also like really like a cute detail. It's stuff like that that I think this is what I love about group shots. Like, yes, they're super difficult. Yes, they're a lot of work, but like you could do so many like fun things with them. I love this kind of stuff. I'm trying to think about like what I want to do for my next community poster exactly. It's kind of hard to figure out. I'm not sure. I kind of want to do a big tiefling poster. I kind of just want to be like, hey, do you have like tiefling sonas, anyone? Does anyone have any tiefling OCs? If so, give them to me. I'm gonna put them in a big thing. Like, I like druids. I did a druid poster. I love tieflings. I should do a tiefling poster. It feels like a no-brainer kind of thing. I would love to do that. I think I might do that. I just don't know when at this point, because the schedule is busy. I have such a, not a monstrous schedule, but it's like, I'm definitely doing a lot. Even though, like, maybe on the outside, like, to my parents, maybe it doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot. But I promise it's a lot. speaking of parents, I think I will also be taking up coding again. I don't want to be stuck at Carl's Jr. Too long, so I gotta start working in time for the day to practice computer science again, which is definitely going to be a thing. I guess I don't need to work too hard because the owlbear ear is going to be covering that. Okay, so we'll just focus on the sleeves then. Let's see. I have a triangle right here for the cape. And then we'll give that to him real quick. It won't be super visible, which is unfortunate, but I'm gonna include it anyways because I think he does need a cape. He is a hero. He is the Blade of Frontiers, or the Blade of also the Blade of Avernus, depending on what ending you get. And it's like, come on, is that not like the most like D&D superhero sounding name? And I think that's it. So like this is behind the owlbear ear. Right here. So it's like that. It'll be behind Shadowheart so you can get rid of that. That part too. This whole part is just gone. And then I think the ear of the owlbear comes... Yeah, so merge down. Here we go. There we go. I'm loving this. Ah! I love this. I love group posters so much. They're so fun. Just look at how like alive it is. That's the fun part for me. Like it is like everyone is like sitting down, but again, it's like just having like as many people like doing like something interesting as possible. I think that helps so much. Ah, I love this. I think I want to make his head a little bit bigger. Go something like this. Go around the horn. Yeah, there we go. I'll make that just a bit bigger. I think that's proportioned with everyone else now. Go here, fix this real quick. Yeah. Got 20 minutes left of stream. I think we'll do Karlak next. Yeah. So let's see, where is the Karlak sticker? There it is. I love you, Karlak, but I really gotta question the soda the 6-pack soda can plastic ring holders on the outfit. I wonder if she has like enough room for me to like paint in the heart. When I did this, actually, it wasn't that I like erased part of her thing to draw in like the glowing like infernal engine heart kind of thing. I actually just painted over it and just like tried to make like a ribcage shape. And it worked out really well, all things considered. Karlak's hair has always kind of like confused me though. I understand that she has like a little bit of a buzz cut going on. But what confuses me specifically is like, is her hair bolted down onto her shoulder? Because like, there's not a lot of hair physics going on in Baldur's Gate 3, right? Which is fair. That would be kind of painful for the programmers and everyone involved. But, it's, like, bolted onto her shoulder. Like, because it looks... Let me pull her up again. Karlak. Like, Like, if I look at her portrait, it's like... Is it just screwed in? Let me find a really good picture to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I have that there. Like... This part right here always confuses me, because it's like... You know, I might actually be stupid. Those might just be kind of like hair clips. Ah! I need to stop being an idiot, I think. Part of me was like trying to like find fan art of her where her hair might be like sort of off of her body. Like, let's say if there was like a breeze going on, but I couldn't find anything. I think it has to just be like clips, huh? Like little fantasy, like hairpin kind of thing. It's probably what it is, and I'm just stupid. Alrighty. Enough of me being stupid, then let's get to drawing Karlach. We're gonna go more red-orange for this, so... Huh? My Alexa just spoke to me and I have no idea what she said. I'm not even sure what I could have said to, like, wake her up like that. No, it's too red. If I do this next to Will, yeah, that's distinct enough for me to, like, tell the difference. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see. I think she should be in front of Will's horn, just because if I don't draw it like that, it's gonna look like his horn is gonna poke her in the eye. Which is another thing about horns, actually. Like, cuddling with a tiefling has to be one of, like, the most, not nerve-wracking, but it's like you have to be, like, so, like, cautious about it. Because otherwise you might poke yourself. See, her ears are kind of like this. There's a little bit... I think they're supposed to be a little bit more narrow, but it's fine. I think, for the sake of clarity, I am just going to erase this part, at least, of Will's horn. And then let me continue with her ear here, so I can see what else I need to erase. So, oops. It's gonna be this. Then I want to make this more like curved and it comes out, so like more like that, I think. And this can come down, actually. That can point downwards instead of up. Then let's draw her horns next. Let's see. I like the way that I like plan out the horns. I think some people, like, since it's conical, they'll do it like that, and like they'll shape the horn like that way. I like this because I have a center line that I can follow through, and I'll just like I'm really good at like imagining shapes, or how shapes work, I guess. So like this, I know like it's gonna be behind, so I'm gonna draw like an extra little bit of a lip there, and then I'm gonna like take this up like that. And then this one's just broken, so not too much to think about there. I will add like a little bit of a 3D effect like that. Hey, the hairs are poking me again. Ugh, I should have worn a different shirt when I was getting my hair cut yesterday. That was because this is not fun. Let's see. And then her hair is kind of comes down to a point like this, so it's kind of like Astarian's. So I'll draw it like that, where it's like kind of like flamed out like that. And then she can have like a little bit of a strand coming out like that. Just following like what I did here. Making like really like minor adjustments as I go. She should have like really, really crazy hair, I think. So like something that flicks out like that. Then something more like that. There we go. And then she's like, her head is gonna be in front of Will's horn, but I think her body is mostly gonna be behind Will. I think her arm is actually supposed to come up more like this, so let me keep that in mind. Let's see, how do I want to draw like this little bit right here? I think something like that should be good. Just like these really like exaggerated like cowlicks, I think. And then I'm going to draw her face before I move on to anything else. Also going to give her like a little bit of like that sort of sharpish nose. The very angular one. What time is it? 2:18. About 10 minutes left of stream. We're making good progress. I think if I'm good about what I'm about working on this, I think I can get Karlek done, but the answer is more than likely I'm gonna have to like finish this up tonight. Oh, I got work at 9 tomorrow, actually. Oof. That's not fun. Karlek should have had more piercings, actually. She could have had like something like this. Nose ring. But she doesn't, right? I don't think she does. So many of the Baldur's Gate 3 cat. Oh, no, I'm stupid. She does have piercings. No, wait. No, that's like somebody putting like mods and accessories on her. This is like official thing. Her face does not have a hole in it. But she would look so good with a septum. That's something I've been trying to do more with like my character designs. I've been trying to include like more jewelry into them, because sometimes it's easy to forget like jewelry exists. Her mouth should be like nice, wide, and open. Something like more like this, actually. She should look excited. I think I'm gonna do like a little bit of like that with the lower eyelid for the eyes. Then that sort of like wide, sort of flat tiefling fang. Okay, so let's draw the eyes now. I like giving her a little bit of like an eyelash, not something super long. I say not something super long as I draw something that's pretty long, all things considered. I'm gonna shorten it. I'm just doing it to get like the shape of like the upper eyelid first. I like giving her just a little bit of that short eyelash just because she's like so golden like retriever. I think it just adds like, I think it just helps to like add a little bit of that. Not something long to where it's like it's more feminine, but something like short to imply something a little bit more like a childlike sort of like youthfulness and joy. Something like that. I don't know if anything that I'm saying makes sense. Quite often it doesn't make sense. And her eyes should actually be lower. It's like right here, like the bottom of the eye should touch like that part in the jawline. or of the face, I should say, not really the jawline. And bring that down. Something like that. I like, eyes are always kind of like tough to work with because it's such a like a specific shape that I go for. But after a few tries it usually like works out. I always, my whole method of like doing things, I call it sculpting the outline. But I guess I can kind of only really like get away with that because generally like my sketch and my line work tends to be like pretty thick. Of course, we're going to add a little bit of... She's a Zariel Tiefling. The Zariel Tieflings have a little bit of a different pupil, so I'm gonna put that in there. Fun fact, when I was designing the... when I was putting the Stardew Valley characters into Baldur's Gate 3 character creator, I went out of my way to make Abigail specifically a Zariel Tiefling as well, because she just screams like fighter to me. I think she deserves like the little like extra like musclies or muscly bits in the thaumaturgy that you get with being a Zariel Tiefling. Or choosing Zariel Tiefling. Speaking of the different types of tieflings, another headcanon, personally, I like to imagine like a lot of like, like tieflings have like a wide range of like features. They can have different eyes, different horns, different tails, and one of the ways that I like to like, but rather than like limit like character design by saying like, okay, well this type of tiefling has this kind of eye, and this type of tiefling has like that kind of tail, so on and so forth. I like to say like, oh well, a lot of these traits were exclusive to, the hellish lineage, but because of like so much like intermingling between the circles, the only real way to tell like what a tiefling's like heritage like is and like what kind of tiefling they are is like by their magic, because tieflings are born with magic. The player handbook, the most basic kind, the Asmodeus line, they get Hellish Rebuke, Thaumaturgy, and Darkness, I think, whereas the other ones, there's one that can get like Ray of Frost as a cantrip. There's the Zariel ones also get Thaumaturgy, but they also get like something else, and so on and so forth. So I like to imagine like, you don't tell a tiefling, or you don't see like what kind of tiefling a person is just by looking at them. You tell based off of like the kind of magic that they have. I think that's a more fun way to do it, just because, again, I don't like options that limit character design like that. I like when character design is very, like, you can make it, like, whatever you want. I'm gonna take the transform tool and mess with this eye a little bit. It's just slightly off. I think I can just take this and pull that out, push that in, and then transform again, resize. Something like that. The only thing is that this part is like a little bit too pointed up, so I'm just gonna rotate, bring that down, and just fill in from there. Oops. Oops. Where's my eraser? There it is. Again, I think it's so weird that I still struggle like pressing all the buttons on this tablet, even though I feel like I've had it for a good while now, honestly. There we go. And then she's got a scar running through her eyebrow. Alright, there we go. We'll draw in the little like hair clips she has because I don't know what else they could possibly be. Because it doesn't make sense for her hair to be bolted in, you know? And I'm just stupid and only realizing that now. That it's like some sort of like hair accessory. I think that is looking good. Okay, we'll just like draw a little bit. We'll draw her collarbone right here so I know where her arm is like kind of going. Sketch in a new center line. And then just a little bit of a fist here. And then there's her doing bunny ears over Will. Because I think it's funny. I think I need to bring this arm up a little bit actually, which means... something more like that, actually. I think from there, we'll figure this out next time. Next time I decide to work on this. So, that's just about the end of stream. So, let's see. Next stream is going to be Thursday. Probably work on more art. We'll see if it's going to be this one again or not. Might not be this one. We'll have to see. But, yeah. Thank you everyone who came around. I had a lot of fun today, and of course I had a lot of fun talking about the vending experience and just everything in general. It was super cool. I'm gonna get this sketch sent off to the client, so that way they know I'm definitely working on it. I promise I'm still working on it. That is like a very expensive commission. I would feel very, very bad if I like just left them without a progress update over the past few days. I'm gonna work on this probably a little bit more tonight, we'll see. And then I think next up is probably gonna be like another hit die design. Barbarian is next. I know Barbarian for sure is gonna be next. So yeah. More art, and by more art I mean more whips on the horizon as usual. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much for hanging around, and love you all. Bye!